Hello everyone and welcome to the very first video of 2017 here on my channel. Today is January 1st, which also happens to be my regular upload day on a Sunday. So I thought it was only most fitting that we start off the new year talking about some reflections, looking forward to some future plans for the next 365 days. I suppose because I've been doing this for a while, I should give you a weather report as I'm filming right now, of course, with my little artificial lighting, all that set up in the room. It is snowing. It just started snowing again about 10 minutes ago while I was setting up. Like, we have been getting so much snow for Vancouver that I think people no longer know what to do with themselves. Cars are just permanently parked on the side. No one's getting anywhere. It's interesting this holiday season, but I hope that you had a really peaceful, restful, and joyous holiday season. Whatever that you've been up to, I hope that it was well spent. I hope that you did something for yourself as well. You know, it's always great to have some time to think about, you know, how your year has turned out, whether it had some surprises or turned out exactly the way that you planned it to, right? And of course, take a moment, take a deep breath, and then jump into the new year. So I think for me in the past year, in 2016, it has been incredibly rewarding and full of achievements, both big and small. You know, I finished my second post-secondary degree last year, and I also learned a lot of new skills. I went kind of more deeply back into my crafting hobbies, and that's been so rewarding altogether, and I'm still on a roll with all of that, as you can tell by all of the fashion / DIY videos that I've been putting up both on my blog and over here on my YouTube channel. But working on 2017, you know, the whole year is full of things unknown, right? But you have so much power to dictate the turn of events. You know, there are always going to be certain little things, surprises or hiccups that happen throughout the year that you cannot by any means plan for. But a lot of it you can. You know, you can control a lot of the little things in your life, and of course you can always control your reactions to the surprises that pop up, possibly unplanned. But I think for myself, I've set kind of 5 learning goals that I'm going to work towards in the new year. I wouldn't necessarily call them resolutions, as that sounds very stiff and hard, and a lot of people beat themselves up at the end of the year if they don't really get there, and they're like, oh my god, I didn't get here, what was I doing, what happened this year? I don't want it to turn into one of those things. Instead, I think, you know, a new year is a great time to think about the achievements, the progress that you want to make. So it's always a work in progress. Whether you get there by December 31st of 2017, well, that's a whole different story. But I think the goal is always to push yourself a little more than you did the previous year. So I want to talk you through the 5 working progress goals that I've set for myself, both in my personal life and of course in my blog life for the next year. And I welcome you to share some of your thoughts and your resolutions or goals or progress with me as well down the comment section. This is again a super casual video, so I hope that you get comfy and join me for my 5 goals. So the first thing I want to jump into is I would like to learn a new language. Now, I've talked about this on and off for many years, but I think both to benefit my career choice as well as to benefit just myself as a more interesting, well-rounded person, I'd really like to learn sign language. I, just for starters, know nothing about sign language, but I think it is something that would be really rewarding and interesting to get into. You know, it's not a spoken language, so at least I guess that takes out the issues of having perfect pronunciation or the right accents or, you know, things like that associated with other spoken languages. But I think learning sign language would be super useful for what I'm doing, you know, and I really look forward to it. I would love some resources on where to start. If you know of any, leave them in the comments for me down below. I'm gonna have to do a lot of Googling, probably a lot of library research to see where I can, you know, get started on learning sign language, but that's a goal. We'll see how this one goes. Really excited about this, actually. My second goal for 2017 is to do more crafty things. Now for 2016, I spent a lot of my time getting back into sewing, which has been a long passion of mine. You know, I had a few hiccups along the way and I didn't actually end up in fashion as a career choice, but it's always been in the back of my head, and it was so nice to really get back into it in 2016. Of course, after purchasing a brand new machine last year, that really obviously helped, and I've been working a lot towards fine-tuning my skills, you know, getting back into the joy of making things, and that's been so lovely. You may know that I am subscribed to a, I guess, program or subscription service called Creative Bug. So I have a subscription to that. It's, you know, you log on, you pay your monthly fees, and you get access to all these amazing artists who give you tutorials and ideas on how to unleash your creativity, everything from painting to sewing to mixed media, you know, all kinds of things. So definitely to get back into my Creative Bug subscription and try out some new just creative things as a whole. For myself as a, I guess, part-time artist, shall you say, I have a hard time breaking into blank paper. Like, I feel that I need to have everything planned out perfectly in my head before I put the paint to the paper, and it's just almost a little bit, you know, you get really antsy about, is this piece going to be perfect? And for me, although I don't see myself as a perfectionist per se, I do kind of limit myself creatively because you get worried about if your thing is going to turn out, you know what I mean? So the goal is definitely to get back into more creative things and learn to let go a little, right? If you know what I mean, if you have the similar type personality to I do, you know that it's almost a little bit of anxiety every time you need to let go, just a little bit, but you can't be too closed up to be creative, right? Okay, goal number 3 is a beauty goal. I would love to work towards wearing more casual makeup, and that might seem a little bit, you know, of a strange goal to you, but for me, I am usually completely dolled up when I film my videos most of the time, or I am not wearing a stitch of makeup. And while that is a good thing to let your skin have a break and breathe, sometimes I think it would be nice, like it would be nice to be one of those people who just look a little bit more put together, instead of being, you know, one way or the other, you know, opposite ends of the spectrum. So the goal is to wear casual makeup more often, take the time, do my eyebrows, you know, a little bit of shadow, a little bit of foundation, nothing too crazy, but get into that type of routine. I think that would be really beneficial and nice for the new year. Number 4, in terms of a habit goal I want to work towards, is definitely getting into my jammies earlier. I'm the type of person who will push till the very last minute of bedtime and just feel like, oh, I got 15 more minutes, I can do one more thing before I go to sleep, and then every time I go to bed really late, and then I am absolutely exhausted. I just, like, you know, flop into bed. But I think my sleep, when I actually kind of get into a sleeping routine earlier in the evening, gives me better sleep, even if I sleep the same amount of hours in total. A lot of times I'm going to bed super tired and I wake up kind of tired as well, because everything is always in a rush all the time. I feel like, oh, I can get 2 more things done before I go to bed. I can get, you know, just one more thing done before I go to bed, and then it just gets pushed later and later and later. It's always that fear of I am not being efficient and I am losing time, so to speak. So that's definitely a goal to work towards for the new year as well for me. And I think number 5, which I guess ties in everything all together is learning to take time off. Again, this I guess has more to do with my own personality and the way that I like to do things, but I feel like I'm always on all the time. If I am not on, then that must mean I'm not being efficient, I'm not using my time wisely. It's all about kind of efficiency and how much you can pump out. And I think at the same time, it certainly has to do with the fact that I've been blogging for so many years, and when you are a blogger, when you're, you know, you've got a day job and then you've got school and then you've got social media and blogging, you always have to be on, and it tends to create these habits that leads you to rush things all the time. Like, you can't have a moment just to sit down and just to unwind and disconnect from everything else that's going on. Just have some time for myself or for yourself. I think that's super important, and the times that I've had to force myself to do that, it's been good. You know, when I had been going to school, what I would do usually on a Friday afternoon, because I had my classes end earlier on Fridays, I would just go out. I would force myself to spend some time out before heading home again, because I know as soon as I get home, I'll be back trying to get more things done, and I'll be really frazzled and I'll go to bed tired, and that whole system, the whole routine starts all over again. You know, I would like to build in, I think, some relaxing routines to do as part of my day or as part of my week, even if it's just a little chunk. I think that's one part that many people forget about when they're so busy, either doing work or school or taking care of family, you know, whatever that you do. So I think those are my 5 working goals for 2017, and I really like to think that 2017 will be a year of learning. I really enjoy learning. I think learning is a lifelong journey, and it should be. You know, what you learn may be different depending on where you are in your life, and however, it doesn't mean that learning stops. You just learn different things, you learn in different ways, you get drawn into different aspects of your life. So I hope that 2017 will be a great year of learning, of growth, and of accomplishments for you as well. Again, I love to hear some of your resolutions or progress or goals for the upcoming year, so don't forget to leave that down for me in the comment section. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and I'll talk to you very soon. Take care. Bye.